Okay, apologies for that breaking network. Um, you're welcome back to Made for Exports this evening. And I was saying that that you can. There's a lot of value added products from Africa, and a lot of those products are not widely known. I can see that my guest is in. I'm trying to get her to join my video so that we can start. I don't know if you can hear me, ma. If you can hear me, can you just type in the comment box? Um, I'm trying to get you to join. Okay, okay, yeah. Okay, okay, okay. I've seen your request to join, and I have accepted your request. Um, I'm sure you should be able to join me in shortly. Okay. Um, yeah. So, for everyone who is just joining us, you are welcome. Yes. Good
Good evening.
evening, Ma. I'm excited to have you here this evening. It's such a joy for you to be here with us this evening, and
Thank
I'm
you.
just okay. Okay. So you're welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here, and it's made for exports. And what we are basically doing is to showcase value added products from Africa. There are a number of value added products in Africa, and those products need to be known, right? A lot of people are waiting for um, we're trying to see how we can get into the international market. But in the interim, we can begin to showcase the products that we know that immediately buyers come, they can get into the market. And the buyers can even come here and see some of those products. So you are very welcome. I will just read your profile and then we'll get into it. Welcome to everyone who is joining us today. My guest today is Adeola Balogun, the founder and chief operating officer of Limlim Foods Production Company. It's an African agricultural food processing company. It's Limlim Foods Production Company is known for its innovative work in transforming locally sourced ingredients into high quality freeze dried food snacks and vegetable powder. The company has accomplished notable milestones such as the successful production of freeze dried egg powder and a wide variety of ready to drink pepper soup products. Um, With a background as a chartered accountant, she has had a long and successful career in leading financial institutions. She successfully managed operations in 4 West African countries, highlighting her diverse skill set. She's a distinguished member of industry associations, including Limlim, PBN, Co, ACD, Sun Business Network, NASIMA, and NASI. And lastly, she's my family member. She's a member of the AGFB family, the Agri-Business Management Program alumni of Lagos Business School. You're welcome, ma. Please go to the comments and welcome our guests this evening. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Lovely to be here.
Okay, ma. You're welcome. So let's just go right into it. You know, when I was reading your profile, it said that you work as a chartered accountant, right? How did that prepare you for processing?
Okay, thank you. I think for any business, if you are not on top of your numbers, then you'll be missing out a lot. So I think it was a great foundation for me. It was fantastic for me that I had an accounting background, and also because my work related with products, a lot of high value products that we use that we're used to. I had done the costing of those products, so it really helped me in starting up my own business.
Wow, good stuff. So, when you wanted to start processing, was processing something you had planned that when I retire, was it a retirement plan or it was something that you started doing while you were still an accountant? I know that accounting is very tasking. So, was it something you thought, okay, this processing thing, I have my eye on it. When I leave accounting, I'm going to work there, or this was just something that came up?
Okay, so for me, I think my core, my passion was fashion designing. I was supposed to go to a school in Paris to design fabrics because I thought of the big market for marriage wedding. The wedding market was quite big, but my husband felt, okay, you're going to be doing fabrics, you're not going to be sewing. But there was a misnomer there that I should go into food. So he gave me the challenge of going into food. So it wasn't something I actually really wanted to go into, but I like taking challenges, and I like turning lemonades into limes into lemons. So I went into it to say, okay, let's see how it goes. I mean, it's not just to produce, and there was a gap in the market, and I felt that we could fill it, and that was how we started. And whilst I was working at giving myself a timeline to stay at work, even though I was at a very senior level, but I had given myself a deadline that if I did not reach a certain level position by a certain age, then I would leave to start my business. So we had started the business whilst I was working. So it was just easy for me to transition from 9 to 5 into the business proper.
Okay, so what I hear is that you had already set a goal that this is when I'm leaving, regardless of what happens. And then you had started the business on the side, and then you just transitioned into the business when you eventually left your 9 to 5. Okay, good stuff. So freeze drying, you know, I think it was from you I first of all heard freeze drying. Well, we hear about processing and all of that. You know, what inspired the choice of freeze drying technique for your product? It's not something that is popular around this part of the world. So why did you choose that technology?
I think I stumbled upon it. In
Hmm.
part of my previous life, I know that the procurement head, we were talking one day and he was saying a company was looking for egg powder. And I was okay. And I'm very, very inquisitive. So I started researching about it. I started researching about it. I was like, this one is looking very technical. What's all this? I'm not interested. But there was a particular vacation we had, a family vacation we had, and we were in Canada. And I just felt I always like anytime I and so we. I remember that time I signed for a chocolate class, chocolate immersion class with
Hmm.
my daughters. and it was going to cost, it was about almost $1,000. And I was like, are you okay? Are you okay, this lady? But he knows that once I set my mind at something, he just allows me to just let her do her thing. Otherwise there'll be war in the house. So just let her, he just allows me to do my thing. So we went for the chocolate immersion class, and we were doing truffles, and we were supposed to dip the chocolate in something. And I dipped it in that thing, and I tasted it. Everything just popped in my mouth. The flavor was fantastic. And I was like, what is this? So I asked my daughter to do espionage. I was like, take pictures of everything you see in this class. And we now saw the container, and they wrote freeze-dried raspberries. So when I got back home, I did my research on freeze drying, and I saw that it was quite expensive going into freeze drying, but we saw some home use ones that we could buy. So I ordered them. I ordered two, flew them in a week. I was excited. I was crazy, and we started. And that's how the journey started. And I was like, somebody has to do this. Nigeria is awash with so many natural resources. The only thing stopping us was technology, but somebody needed to try it just to show proof of concept, to show that in Nigeria, our products can also stand side by side with any global brand across the world. And freeze drying is the best in class method of preserving food worldwide. So our products can stand beside any, go and bring it. I stand proudly. I can stand and say we won't beat them in terms of flavor, because Nigerian products have more flavor and they are more nutritious. We can beat any products worldwide. And so that's how we started. It's not for the faint-hearted. If you have the liver and kidney, come and join. but
I like
but the results make you feel so proud to be a Nigerian, to say this is the same thing this FMCG is using, and we're able to produce it locally. The only thing stopping us is technology and scaling it. Yeah.
I like how you said, you gave that caveat that if you have the liver, but I think that because you are already working that journey, it makes it easier for any other person who is on the someone is saying no audio on our end, but you can hear me. Can anyone else hear me? Can you confirm that you can hear me? I know that you can hear me because we have been speaking, and
Even on my laptop, I can hear. I think it's probably our network.
okay, lovely, lovely. So I know that for the freeze drying, did you have to go through any kind of training, or it was something that you just got the machines and you started working with the machines?
No training. I'm an accountant. I'm not a food technologist. I was a science student, but I failed chemistry, so I had to change into accounting. So I'm a bloody accountant. I've never worked. I was just fortunate that part of my last role, I had to work in supply chain,
Mm,
and I did product costing, and then all my roles in FMCG. I worked in Unilever, so I was the treasurer. Then from treasury, I moved into management accounting. So all the monthly management results, I was the one doing it by SKU. And then I moved into Cadbury. I worked with commercial finance, which was innovation, new products, marketing, and sales team. And then I moved on to supply chain. And in supply chain, I was in charge of four factories across West Africa. So which was a fantastic experience and exposure for me. So for freeze drying, there was no training. The only freeze dryers locally available in Nigeria were the lab ones, which was very small. So I had to do a lot of learning on the job. So my learning curve was quite long.
mm,
Yeah, so quite long. I had to travel down. I would go and meet my OEM. We'd sit down together. I'll tell them about my challenges. And unfortunately, we don't have a footprint in Africa. So I was like their scapegoat, their guinea pig in Africa. Yeah, so
mm.
that's how I started. It was a lot of learnings from my end. Yeah.
So this was outside of the country. The people who put you through. So you had to travel outside of the country to get the knowledge.
Yes. So and they have a big support group online. So they have a very rich support group online. And then you research. I tell people, I don't watch TV. I'm always on YouTube. There's so much out there that you can learn. It's my university, so maybe I passed through university of freeze drying. But there's so much you can learn there, and then try and bring it down to a Nigerian setting. You know, so I
Hmm.
learned a lot. I attend a lot of food fairs. I go for like Gulf Food Dubai.
Yeah.
I was shocked with the array we had there. So I go out a lot for all these exhibitions. I try as much as possible where I can afford it. But now that dollar is singing a different tone, we're respecting ourselves.
Okay, great. I like that. You know, when you said I don't watch TV, I'm sure some people are wondering, how can she say she doesn't watch TV? But the proof of desire is pursuit, right? So that thing that you are interested in, um, someone there are already videos, so I always say to people that the internet is amoral. It's not good or bad. It's just what you use it for. So you have been able to successfully use the internet, YouTube, at your university, and some other people will sit on the same YouTube and watch movies all day long. If they wanted to go into the movie industry, it works for them, right? They are practicing in advance. Okay, so I know that you have a variety of products that you freeze dry. I know some of them are fruit powder. Can you mention some of these products? How many do you have in all currently?
How many do I have? We're constantly innovating. We have a innovation funnel that is very active. So when you see us launch a product, we probably have started 2 years before
Hmm.
you see it out being launched, because we have to test for stability and all that, and also see how it can be used. So we explain to customers. But what we've done is we've done a journey map. A journey map in the sense that we took virtually all fruits and vegetables grown locally in Nigeria and we freeze dry them. The whole reason is because we're a B2B company, doing product innovation, ingredient supply, product development, and private labeling. So we want to be prepared for any client that comes to meet us to say, can you do this for us? We need to be able to showcase to them that yes, it has been done and it can be done, or no, it cannot be done due to XYZ. So we've done virtually any fruits, from dragon fruit to agbadomo to mango, pineapple, banana, even this cashew fruits, because cashew fruit contains a lot of vitamin C,
Yeah.
oranges, anything that does not have high sugar content or too oily. We even done coconut milk powder. We did it for a client for one of their products. So we've done quite an
Hmm.
array of products from fruits and vegetables or produce grown locally in Nigeria.
Hmm. Okay. I also know about the pepper soup. The what do you call it? What's the name you have given to it? I know
The
it's
2 minutes
supposed to
pepper,
be ready to eat.
is the two
Aha.
minutes
2 minutes pepper soup. Okay, tell us about the 2 minutes pepper soup for those who are pepper soup fans like me.
So the 2 minutes pepper soup is one. It's just one product from an array of over 40 products that we have in our innovation funnel. And so we just felt that there were three major products that Nigerians love to eat. Jollof rice was one, pepper soup was one. I can't remember the third one. And we felt that, okay, can't we take this product? And we had a lot of Nigerians in the diaspora, and everybody's yearning for a taste of home. So we said, okay, why don't we take this product and turn it into something that someone in diaspora can take to work, or when the weather is cold, they want a taste of home, and you just pour it in the bowl and pour hot water and it's ready. You don't have to cook it, you don't have to cook or anything, or even look for pots or whatever. And so the journey had to start with the recipe. We reached out to quite a number of chefs because we wanted to get the recipe right. And so we had to go all the way to Delta State because they had the best pepper soup in Nigeria. And
Hmm.
so that's how we came up with the recipe for the pepper soup. And then we tried it. The first time we tried it, my mom was like, what is this girl doing again? Fruits, Lani Koloshe, what is all this nonsense that you're doing? Then when the thing came out, it was just looking at, okay, let's see. And then I now took it to my gym with my instructor. So the very first video we had was with my instructors at the gym, and they tried and they went gaga, they went bonkers. They even did their own video, they did a reshoot of the video by themselves, and the response has been crazy. We wanted to sell it for the diaspora market, but even the demand from the local market is crazy. It's crazy here because it's different, it's just you take it to work anywhere. I've had clients that they're traveling even within Nigeria. Someone will just send me picture, see what I use your soup to do. They will use it with a bar, just put Gary, and that's their dinner. Some people with bread. Someone that called me from I was like, see, I'm eating your product. So I was like, where? With bread for breakfast, with eko, with noodles, you can with rice. So the use is crazy, crazy. And the whole idea before thinking of somebody in the hospital that could not take solids, but the use is crazy, is wide, is wide. So we're coming up with a very soon, hopefully God helping, Niger helping, we'll come up with a recipe series on how or what you can use them for, and the different. We have all sorts of soups that we've not even brought out into the public that is in our innovation funnel.
Okay, lovely stuff. Sourcing of raw materials, and sourcing of raw materials, because the freeze dry technology definitely is not available. So that means the machinery is sourced from abroad, right? For raw materials, how easy is it to source for raw material for production?
So previously it was quite easy. So the beauty of freeze drying is nothing goes to waste. Nothing goes. The era of mangoes are in season or out of season, it doesn't happen with freeze drying. You can have your supplies all year round. So we buy when they're in season, we buy in bulk, and then we freeze. So anytime we want to process it, we just bring them from the freezing section, and then we put them in the machines, and that's it. But it also comes at a cost. So for our raw materials, as much as possible, we understand because Nigerian processes and farming process is about seasonality. We around the rains and all that. So what we've done is we've understood the seasonality for each of our products, and so we plan and buy when they're in season. So stuff like mango, we're buying mangoes right now, but we get our mangoes from Benue because of the taste. There's a particular species of mango. So for everything we're doing, we are very particular about the species, about the quality. So there's a particular species of mango we use. If I tell you that any mango you are eating today, we didn't buy it for this year. We bought the mangoes from last year. But when you eat the freeze-dried products, you cannot imagine. The flavor, the aroma, the fragrance of the mango still hits you, and it delivers on taste and texture. And with freeze drying, when you rehydrate it, you can barely tell the difference between the freeze-dried product and the fresh product because it does not alter the product structure. So mangoes is from Benue. We get bananas all the way from Osun State. We get pineapples from Ogun State. So we work with the farmers as much as possible where we can. In areas where we can't get to the farmers directly, we buy strawberries from Jos. In areas where we can't get directly from the farmers, we have aggregators or buyers that has gone through our verification process that does the buying for us. Because of
Okay. Good stuff. So for quality, for ensuring quality, how do you ensure that the products are of good quality every time? So this phenomenon that when we start producing, first of all, the product is excellent, everybody likes our product, and then tomorrow we'll now start complaining that these people they've started altering their product. How do you ensure that the products are of the same quality every single time? Is there a certification benchmark that you have? Is there a process that ensures that every time I pick up Limlim dried fruits, it gives me the same taste every single time?
So, it starts again from our procurement process, which is standard. So we have our standards, which we follow. because we're particular about the quality. Some might say it's more expensive, but it's the quality. We're particular about quality. It's not a mass, our products are not mass market products, unfortunately, because freeze drying is a very expensive process. So we're particular about quality, and then we partner with reputable laboratories and verification companies. For example, we work with Bureau Veritas, which is quite expensive for startups, but we just want to
Yeah.
show that and demonstrate that we can stand side by side with any global brand. So we work with Bureau Veritas. In some instances, we also work with the battle industry to do our lab samples. So, for example, with egg powder now, we have to test per batch because egg powder is very sensitive
Hmm.
to your microbial cleanness and all that must be very up to date because you can't use it for industrial use if it doesn't pass certain tests. So E. coli and all those stuff, you must check for them, you must verify them. So we use reputable laboratories that we work with, and we also ensure that we follow our process. We have standards all through.
Okay. Your products, I know that your products are certified. Do you want to tell us about some of the certifications you have for your products?
So right now we have NAFDAC and our facility is FDA certified.
Right.
We're
Okay.
currently going through ASIC testing,
So,
and we also want to go for
okay.
ISO to enable
Okay.
us from some requirements for certain countries. But like I said earlier, we are working with I think globally the only recognized verification lab is Bureau Veritas, which we have
Yeah.
partnered with.
Yeah. 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 So let's talk about power. We know that power is critical to processing. I bought electricity units on Wednesday and I was just stunned when I saw how many units they gave to me. Like a third, in fact, less than a third of what I typically buy. Most processors depend on alternative sources of power for their operations. How does this impact on your overhead?
Right now, it's crazy, and I don't know how sustainable this process is going to be. For the big multinationals, I'm not sure they're really impacted because, I mean, they were using diesel and some were off the grid. But for startups and mid-level companies, this is a big problem, and it's a time bomb. It's a ticking time bomb. I've spoken to some other companies that were in the same category, and even they are much bigger than us. And the quantum of what they are being charged now, like someone is being charged from 9 million is going to 32 million per month on
Yeah.
electricity. It's
Yeah.
crazy. For us, we've seen our power costs move from about 30% is now going to about 60% of the total product cost. It's crazy. It's
Hmm.
not sustainable for. Unfortunately, we're using machines that use compressors. So how much solar is
Ah,
going to support? You know? So I don't know. Like last month, we actually shut down for some weeks because I was like, it wasn't
hmm.
making sense. Because we buy what we're buying for 1 month, we're now buying what we're using for 1 month, we're now buying 3 times that amount to
Yeah.
process. And I'm like, is this can I pass on this additional cost to clients, to consumers? How will I even absorb some of it? It wasn't making sense anymore because we're already hit with high input costs. Raw material costs had gone up after the petroleum industry deregularization, when they removed the subsidy on petroleum, whatever. So the cost
Yeah.
of petrol,
Yeah.
cost of diesel had already gone up. Now we're now being slammed with cost of electricity. Honestly, if any government agency or anybody from Power Holding Authority is listening, there's a ticking time bomb on startups, on mid-level businesses in the country, and that's the live wire of any economy. This is a big issue for a lot of businesses. It's a big issue.
Okay, so electricity people, power holding people, power people, if you are watching, if you are going to watch this at any time, like she said, and like I mentioned, when I saw what my units were, all of a sudden it dawned on me that I'm going to be paying 3.5 times what I used to pay for electricity. And this is household electricity, not even factory electricity. And like she mentioned, these SMEs and medium companies are the companies that sustain the economy, right? And so if everybody is shutting down operations, then it is not sustainable. It's not good for our economy if we have to be driving. On the one hand, we say we want to empower entrepreneurs. On the other hand, we're not really enabling their operations. So people that know the people that know the people that can influence this electricity thing, especially for processors in Nigeria. Please let's do something about it. So how long have you been at this business running Limlim? I'm even curious about the name Limlim. How did you come about that name?
Okay, so Limlim started from my kitchen as an experiment with a small dehydrator and my sister-in-law. And we just tried some stuff, and then because we realized that there was dried mango, there was dried pineapple, but there was no dried banana, and there was no dried apple. So I was like, okay, let's try. And then we tried it, and then people started asking for more and more and more. And then we're like, okay, what name are we going to give this business? Because we were saying in Ziploc bags, transparent Ziploc pouches. So I now started asking my kids, yeah, give me name. Everybody was forthcoming except the baby of the house then, and she was quite she's quite industrious. She likes business. She likes money. Anything that will make her make money, she's interested in it. So her name is Halima, and her nickname is Lim Lim. So she was like, Mommy, use my name. If nobody's forthcoming, use my name. So actually my daughter's and yeah, that's how it started. And
That's
we started
that's
in
interesting.
we started in 2017, and we started, and barely 3 months after we started, this GT Food and Drink, we just applied, and barely 3 months, we're not even done registration. They just called us, you are selected for GT Food and Drink, and we're like, just like that. So we had to fly in more machines, and we had to speed up our upscale our production. And at the fair, we were shocked with the response we got. We sold out, and from that fair, we started getting orders for bulk orders for
Hmm.
products going. People were asking us, can you produce these things in bulk so I can use that as ingredients for our products? And at that point, we had the light bulb moment that, rather than killing myself going into supermarkets and wait for my money, somebody wants me to pack this in bulk for them. So we had our products in ShopRite and big supermarkets, but you will not see our name. But I was fine as an accountant. My volume I was doing my volume and my numbers were coming in, so it was okay for me, you know. So you see us, we still support quite a number of businesses, um, as an ingredient supplier for their products, because our products are all natural. Yeah.
Okay, I know that while we were speaking, you talked about the fact that you are curious and you are experimental, right? So, what are some of the mistakes that you think that you made along the way during this journey of processing?
Hmm. Okay, those are some of the mistakes I've made. Maybe I should have stuck with one or two products and not and be less distracted. But then who's going to tell the story of Nigeria and our products and our amazing array of products? So maybe that's another one is maybe I should have gone really big and not be scared of starting big. Maybe I should have started really really big from the onset instead of trying to grow gradually and gradually. Now that things are even getting tougher to scale up, I think those are my two uh, maybe my two regrets. But I could turn them into positives for myself. Maybe those two areas. Maybe those two areas. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, you've already mentioned contract manufacturing. So, for those who want you to process for them, that's the service you offer, right?
Yes, we do. We do offer that contract manufacturing for quite a number of these businesses. They come and meet us at the ideation stage. We're about to start this. Is this something you're able to produce? Can you do this mix for us? For some, yes, we do end up working with them. For some, they realize that maybe the cost is, by the time they put in the cost into their product costing, they realize that it might not be the right time for them, or maybe they might look for alternatives. But we work with quite a number of startups. We've had some FMCGs come meet us, surprisingly, which was those were validation moments for us to say, okay, so they're actually, some people are actually watching us. We've worked with some governments, with state governments. We've had 2 states reach out to us on egg powder, and we even had the federal government reach out to us on egg powder.
Wow, 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 wow. This is good stuff. So I think it's gratifying that your work is being recognized, and I think that's one of the things that you can use to those are the things that make you happy in spite of the challenges that you encounter in running the business. So are there any challenges that you encounter in trying to sell your products? You're not you talk more about business to business instead of business to retailer. Or are there any challenges that you have encountered in trying to sell locally or even export the products?
For exports, I think we're the ones delaying ourselves. We're the ones being taking it slowly. We've had
Mm.
orders for export. We should have done more than what we're doing in export. We're doing indirect exports, but we intend to start directly this year. Um, for local businesses, we have orders coming in. Surprisingly, people even pay ahead. We tell them pay ahead, you deliver
Wow.
after, so that we can plan our production cycle. We've had FMCGs buy from us. Even right now, sometimes we don't even advertise because when the orders come in, we might not be able to meet the demand. Um, but we're now trying to go into retail. So you're going to see our pepper soups in cups, in disposable cups, because we found out that when we entered the markets, the stores with our pouches, they kept on, you have to do a lot of explaining. And then they think that it's spice. They say you should put it in the spice section. I'm like, no, it's not spice, this is soup. So right now, we've had to change our pepper soup and put them in cups. I think I'll try and get one a sample before we leave and show you. So it's going to come out in cups. So all you just need to do is just open the cup, pour your water, cover the cup, and in 2 minutes it's ready. So those are some of the challenges we're facing. The other challenge is that people don't understand freeze drying. So I guess the
Hmm.
challenge is back to us to now do more education. Difference between freeze dried and dehydrated products, because freeze drying is more expensive. Dehydrated products, but they are not the same thing. With the freeze dried products, it can last for some up to 20 years. But of course, we follow regulatory. As long as the product is closed and is not opened, it can last for 20 years. You can drop it anywhere in your house, or in case anywhere. And anytime you're ready to use it, just take it out and you eat, and it's fantastic and it's fresh and it's good. You can rehydrate it. You can use it in water. Put in your water. Like if I want to take mango now, mango is like, I'll just take one bite of the mango, put it in a bottle of water, it rehydrates back to mango. I have mango flavored water. So it goes back to the pre-state. So the use is wide. So I think we now need to do a lot more in terms of communication regarding around that. Yeah.
Wow, I was going to ask what the shelf life of the products are, but then you said something that sounded like 20 years. Did you say 20 years, or I was just hearing something?
So a dried product, as long as it is sealed properly, can last up to 25 years, because in freeze drying, what you have done is that you have taken out the moisture, you've taken out 99% of the moisture. So you can't have any bacteria or fungi or anything growing in it. Unlike dehydrated products. With dehydrated products, you've taken out maximum about 75% of the moisture. So if you leave dehydrated products after some time, it starts getting back the moisture. There's moisture
Hmm.
in it. So with moisture, fungi can grow, anything can grow, can thrive. So the shelf life of dehydrated products is shorter. Um, obviously you cannot rehydrate it back to its pre-state. So I mean, we're not comparing like with likes. So and then the use of the hydrogenated product is limited. You can't turn them into powders. The beauty of freeze-dried products is that the amazing we have some smoothie stores that buy our agbalumo powder, and I'm like, agbalumo is the season, go and buy. They're like, no, our product allows standardization. So with a cup of agbalumo powder, they know how many bottles of agbalumo smoothies they can get. So it helps them with standardization. That's the work we're also trying to do with egg powder, to say, for those baking cakes, why would you be using fresh eggs? Different sizes, they're from different farms, the quality is different. So sometimes you have to titrate. You won't have a standard recipe, a bill of material, a bill of quantity. You won't have a standard one. But with powder, and that you are going to rehydrate, you know that with 1 cup of water, 1 cup of powder, I had 2 cups of water, and it gives you a standard mix. So it brings about standardization, it brings about a more efficiency, it brings about, you're not thinking about eggs going bad, there's no light today, is it in a cool place, the way they transported them, did they use a well-ventilated van to transport them, or how many are broken, you're not thinking about all those. You're thinking, and they're not thinking of, if I crack 10 eggs now, what if the 11th one is bad? Does this form my whole batch? You're not thinking of all those things. You're going ahead. You're thinking miles ahead. You're thinking of developing new recipes. We've taken away the stress from you, and you're thinking, I have egg powder, so what else can I do? You're thinking we're allowing you to think of innovation. You're not thinking of how you're going to go and buy eggs, which farm is going to supply eggs to me tomorrow, or stuff like that, and the likes. Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh wow, this is lovely stuff. Precious says, and it maintains over 80% of its nutrients.
Yes, it does.
So even the nutrients are locked up in the process of freeze drying.
Yes. It's the same process used in making our pharmaceutical products. So yeah, so I mean, and that's what the astronauts use. That's what is used. It's used worldwide, and it started years ago. Years ago.
Oh wow, that's lovely stuff. So do you have like a training program for those who are interested in the freeze drying technology? You mentioned earlier that sometimes you don't even advertise because you are awash with demand for the products, and I know that one of the things that you are doing is actively promoting the reduction of post-harvest losses. So is there a kind of training or some formal engagement for people who might say, okay, we want to go into freeze drying, or processing, the kind of processing that you do?
For now, we've not started, but we want to start this year because we've had some people that have gone ahead to buy freeze dryers, and they are now stuck. So we've got the learning curve. We've known what is to be done. And I mean, there's so much. We would not like someone to go and spend as much as, like, one freeze dryer, one small one could cost you as much as $7,000 to $8,000 landed in the country. So it's not small money. So would not like that. Um, and so yes, we'll start something this year. Hopefully by Q3 we should be able to start. In the interim, we work with some universities. I'm passionate about the next generation. I'm passionate about inspiring them, because somebody has to do it. So we work with some universities, and we take in their IT students, particularly those that have done food technology. And so it's shocking to us when they come and they say they've never seen freeze dryers before. They've heard about it. They've done it in their project work, but they've never. So going back to school, they're inspired. Some of them are feeling so proud of themselves. Say, I've maintained a freeze dryer. I've put in products in free. So it helps them, and that excites me because I'm thinking that's our next. That's next. That's the future of our country. And so if the future of our country is having this exposure, I'm happy. I've achieved something. I'm very, very happy. Gladdens my heart because we need them to be interested in this.
Wow, Wow, this is it's very heartwarming. When you mentioned that you work with universities, it just it's heartwarming because sometimes the reasons why the youth are despondent is because they can't see the opportunities. All of a sudden their perspective changes and they see that some things can actually work. It can be done better. We can actually build something out of these things. And I'm excited that you are doing some work with training, that is in the pipeline. And I'm sure that you would let us know. You're my family member, like I said earlier.
No problem.
Some of us will find out by default when these things happen because of our families. So our family is our family is the is the agribusiness management program alumni of the Lagos Business School. We are a 300-man family, doing very excellent things in agribusiness. So this is my family member. I'm proud to be affiliated with her. You can also join our family. Just check Lagos Business School for AGMP. LBS, I just did free adverts for AGMP this evening. So I hope Answer watches this video sometime. Okay. So for someone who wants to go into this business, right? And the person is waiting for the right time, um, where we are currently in Nigeria, a lot of people say that it's not the right time to start because a lot of things are just working um, in a lot of things are not working the way we want them to work. So for those who want to start this business and they're still waiting for conditions to be perfect, what would you like to say to those people?
There will never be a perfect condition. It doesn't exist.
Hmm,
Rather, I think we have huge opportunities right now.
hmm,
Because even in the worst of situations, there's the flip side to it. So you have a lot of Nigerians who have left the country, and then diaspora. They're in different countries across the world. So identify
hmm.
where they are, identify what their pain points are, the things, and food is very important to us. So
Yeah,
I mean, it's a low-hanging fruit. So I mean, I don't need to right now. I try to tell people that even though you want to start a food business, it's not compulsory that you need to spend so much importing machines or acquiring
yeah,
machines. Reach out
yeah,
to those that are already in the field. For some people, their core competence would be production, while some might be marketing and sales. So try to understand where your competence lies, even if it is in innovation, but you don't have the money or the it's not, I won't even advise you to to go and expend so much on capital expenditure. Try and work with people that are ready that have this equipment, and test the waters, see how it works before you now think of, okay, let me go and bring in my machines. I now understand it and I can do it better. So I mean, there's never going to be a perfect opportunity, and opportunities will never wait for anybody. So if you have a brilliant idea, start now. And now that things are even tough and you start now, of course, definitely things are going to get better. So when they get better, you improve on your efficiencies and you make more profit for yourself.
Okay, someone asked a question that do you think it's the right time and it's cost effective to book commercial food drying from you, considering the huge cost of production?
Right now, everything is expensive. Like today, I was looking at the cost of beans. Everything is expensive right now, but people are still going to eat. So if you have a
Yeah.
product that you feel that is going to address a gap in the market, nothing stops you from starting. You book for
Hmm.
if you book for it, do your costing. That's why you need an accountant. Do your costing, especially a cost accountant. Me, I'm not a
Hmm.
financial. I'm a management accountant. I'm a cost accountant. I love data. I love numbers. So it makes me excited. So work with somebody that understands numbers and product costing, because so that you can cost your product properly, so that you don't end up subsidizing the cost of the product to the consumer. So do your costing. If you are comfortable with the pricing, confirm or compare with the competitors or something that's similar to it. And if it fits in, go for it. Go for it. Don't waste time. Everything is expensive. Now everybody knows. Everybody's aware. One tuber of yam, was it 2 days ago, was going for 15,000. I was like, are we? Is it for real? Like tomatoes now, me, I'm just smiling because when tomatoes were cheap, we had bought them and we had processed them. So me, I'm just smiling. We just take a spoon of tomato powder and we're cooking, and I'm like, I'm just smiling, you know. But but it's painful when you see how much and you hear how much the basket of tomato that was 9, 10,000 3 months down the line is now going for 100,000. It's crazy. I mean, we have a
Mm.
huge food security crisis on our hands.
Okay. So for the person that asked the question, it's a business case. So if you do your costing and you are sure that your competition and your customers can afford it, then I think that you can order. I think, in fact, what the hike in food prices has taught us most recently is that people can afford it, or people are going to have to afford it, especially with food, because we have to eat, right? So there was a time that we could not imagine that we'll be buying a bag of rice for 100,000, but it is what it is. So if you want to eat rice, you're going to have to be able to afford it, and so with food, I think that it's it's just what it is. So when you do your costing and you are sure that you can accommodate that cost, then why not um, get in and order the product? Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you for joining us this evening. I don't know if anyone else has another question for you before we let you go this evening. Okay, that's the pepper soup. Wow, lovely stuff. I think this one is chicken.
Yeah, so
But for, for, for the pepper soup, do they really have chicken chunks in them, or is chicken flavor?
oh, so so the catfish has a whole. If it's a whole middle, the whole middle of the catfish. All we've done is to debone it. It's inside.
Okay,
For the chicken
okay.
chunks are inside. For goat meat, you have 4 or 5 pieces of goat meat inside. So you have the proteins inside already included.
Oh, so the chunks of protein are already in it in the pepper soup.
Exactly.
So we just add water and we just
Just
continue
open
on our
it,
journey.
add water, open your jar, add water, and cover it. And in 2 minutes, 3 minutes is ready, and you drink.
Oh wow, this is lovely. This is lovely. I think what even makes it lovelier, right, is that it's our own food, right? So it's not something that was made outside the country, and we are now trying to adapt to that. It's our own food. A typical Nigerian, a typical Nigerian. Let me not say everybody, but most Nigerians love pepper soup, right? And
Exactly.
if you are the one making the pepper soup, and you mentioned in the course of the um in the course of this life that you have to research pepper soup and go to the source of like the best pepper soup, and so if you are making it, you're not going to make it like somebody outside of the country who has seen a gap and is making it based on their own taste. Nowadays we have different kinds of jollof rice. Some people will make something and then they will say it's jollof.
Exactly.
Someone was cooking jollof rice. I think maybe it was on IG. And the comment section was like, this thing is not jollof. It's something else. Don't call it. But this is what someone from Nigeria stepping up and telling our story. This is what it does, because you are retaining all of the flavors, you are putting in what we are used to, but
Exactly.
you have made it, you've standardized it. And so every single time we pick it up, we know that it is what is supposed to be in it. Thank you so much again for joining us this evening. For people who want to get her products, you can follow her on at Limlim, at Limlim Dried Fruits. I think that's right. Do I have the handle right? At
Yes.
Limlim Dried Fruits on
Yeah.
IG. You can send her a DM. For those of you who are thinking about training, please also you can send her a DM. For those of you who are looking at bulk purchase, so maybe you make smoothies and instead of the taste of your product fluctuating from one taste today to another. I know there are some people who have made the pineapples were bad today, and so the pineapple juice didn't come out right. So for those of you who make products and you want to standardize, you can DM her for the powders. For those of you who are interested in private labeling, she also does that one. For those of you who are interested in contract manufacturing, she also does that one. So there's no need for you at the initial, and for those of you who have not even started and this is what you want to do and you want a proof of concept, you can always go to her and then she makes the product for you and you test your market with the product first before investing your $8,000 or something on a freeze drying machine. And we can all begin to, instead of complaining about the problem, we can all begin to be part of the solution to the problem. Post-harvest losses is being reduced drastically, and we're beginning to solve our problems. Not easy, but someone has to take the bull by the horn, and she has taken the bull by the horn. Don't reinvent the wheel. Don't go and start from where she started. She has already experienced something. 7 years in the business, you can just stand on her own shoulder and move into this. Thank you so much again,
Thank you.
Ma, for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
Any last words for our audience this evening?
Any last words? Don't give up. Don't give up. Never. Don't give up. Just keep going. For all you may know, you may just be feet away from gold. So don't give up. Just
Hmm.
believe in Almighty and just keep learning. If things are not working out, keep learning. Reach out to your network. Have a network right now with what's happening around us. People are feeling depressed and sad. This is the time for you to reach out to your network of friends or network of businesses. Talk, speak out. Don't internalize everything that is happening. Speak out, and for all you may know, somebody might have a solution for you or a partnership for you.
Hmm. So you've heard it from my guest this evening. Don't give up. Don't give up. The next corner you might turn might just be that big break that you are looking for. So don't give up. Hang in there. Things are going to get better. So thank you all so much for joining us. Please appreciate my guest in the comments. Send her, um, give her some hearts, tap on the hearts, appreciate her in the comment section. Thank you so much for joining us. Follow her on Limlim Dry Fruits to be informed of the innovation that is going on with Limlim Dry Fruits. Contact her if you want to order for any of the products that she's offering and the services that she's offering. And, just leverage this opportunity that we brought to you. Tell your friends and family in diaspora that there is now pepper soup ready to drink pepper soup. They don't have to be thinking about how to get it done. Here it's available and it will hit the market very soon in the cups. Thank you so much again for joining our live. We'll be back next Saturday with other value added products from Africa. My name is Adeola Balogun, and till I come your way again next week, I would encourage you to think African and buy African. Please enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, man.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye. Bye.